First and foremost, just want to thank you guys for tuning into our first episode. Just wanted to apologize ahead of time just for a quick, brief moment in this podcast. The mic cuts out just for a little bit when we start talking about Rory McIlroy. So apologize for that. We'll get it fixed for next time, but you guys are going to enjoy the show.
Welcome into the Cactus Golf Podcast, the inaugural Cactus Golf Podcast. I am Blair here with my co-host Matt Erickson. We are super excited about this first episode and this podcast here. We got some cool segments of this first episode here for you. We also got a little interview Matt did earlier today. You want to tease that real quick and some of the segments we're going to have on deck here?
For sure. Yeah, I had an interview today with someone who is actually near and dear to both of us. He helped us out a lot when we started up Cactus Golf Club, referred us to a lot of people, and definitely was a perfect person to bring on for the first episode of the show and talk about him and his brand. So I'm super excited for you guys to hear that a little bit later. But yeah, this podcast is all about golf, obviously. And, there's many different segments that we're going to have, some reoccurring, some that we change. Most of the ones that you're always going to hear, we're always going to be talking about the PGA, always going to be talking about predictions for LIV. We're going to be talking about interviews that we have with different golf brands and influencers. And then honestly, it's everything that we just kind of see as we go through and different news articles that come up. We want to talk about some hot takes, debates. It's going to be a good one, man. I'm excited for this.
Yeah. And you mentioned Cactus Golf Club. Obviously that's, what we have going on. It's kind of the offshoot of that. We're going to kind of tie things together. We're kind of just getting this thing started. So we're going to tie them together a little bit, how we feel, and just kind of feel things out, see how that goes. But yeah, Cactus Golf Club, if you haven't seen that, definitely check that out. CactusGolfClub.com. All partners. So like you mentioned, Nick, one of the partners we have there going on. So that's at the end here. So we got a few segments that we're excited about. We spent some time kind of figuring out how they're figuring out the final details of what we want to do. But go ahead and get to this first one here. I sent you his last 14 events.
Yep.
So his last 14 official worldwide results are 2 wins, 9 top 5s, 11 top 10s, and a total of 131 under par.
It's crazy.
I'm not good at math, but it seems pretty good.
It's pretty good, man.
So, I mean, you kind of mentioned that after I told you that I didn't even think about it, but it's easier for him now because of the cannibalism kind of going on with LIV. And I've never heard that before. Like, that's a really good point. I mean, it's still really good results by him, but that's a really good point.
Honestly, yeah. So that's the first thing that came up in my mind right away when you showed me that stat was that where's the competition? A lot of those players jumped over to LIV. That was my first thought. But then honestly, I started diving into some of these stats and some of the tournaments that he's played in, and some of his top 5 finishes were tournaments that were the majors where everyone played in. So Masters, 2nd place. US Open, tied for 5th. The Open, 3rd. Tour Championship, he won it. So that's all those 4 majors. Yeah. He ended up in the top 5 in every single one of them when he was competing against those LIV golfers. So that was my first thought in my mind. But then I started thinking, I'm like, I looked at the previous season for Rory, and the prior season he had 1 win and 2 top 5 finishes. That was it. So I'm like, there's got to be something that triggered this. Is at least less competition. And I kind of thought about it. He's been very vocal about the LIV league. And is it just the fiery competition in him that he wants to show everyone that this is, in his mind, the PGA is the place to play, and that he wants to essentially ball out, and he's on fire right now, man.
I like that.
So that's kind of where my mind went. Is the first thought was, where's the competition? But it's there. It clearly shows it.
That's a good point. Diving into the majors, the specific details of which tournaments he performed well in.
Yeah.
That kind of leads me. I told you I had a hot take. A little bit of a hot take, not really, but kind of. It's a little hot, but I think it is actually better just for the growth of the game overall of golf, right? So people are kind of saying it's kind of cannibalizing the league. So PGA is not as good because they don't have all the good golfers, but LIV isn't either. They don't have all the great golfers either. Official world golf rankings, all the drama with that, it's not really corresponding well. But I think it's just better for the growth of the game, even though the best golfers aren't competing each week against each other necessarily.
Correct.
And it's kind of like counterintuitive to what you kind of see with like college football right now or college sports, where the all the best programs are coming into like the same conferences. So the Big Ten
Correct.
and SEC are kind of all combining into one, cannibalizing the other leagues, kind of the opposite. So I think it'll be better for the growth of the game in a different way than those, than college football, college basketball is, because it's just going to create more talking points for people to talk about.
It honestly really is. If you think about it, like, I mean, we've been really, I shouldn't like interested in the golf space in the past, 3 to 4 years, I would say. We really started diving into it a little much more. And at the beginning of it, I can clearly remember there wasn't much talk about it, man. Like,
I mean, it's just
there
the
wasn't
PGA
much
tournament that's going on that week, and just how that's going, and who won, who performed well, and it's really about it. I mean, Tiger, obviously his stuff going on.
Obviously, he had some, obviously some major headlines, but like once the LIV League was introduced and the drama that it started, I feel like every day, if not every other day, there's another major headline that comes out about it, and it's just bringing so much attention to the golf space. And in a roundabout way, I feel like I agree with you. I think it's a positive thing for the golf space as a whole.
Absolutely.
Not just focusing on the PGA, not just focusing on LIV, on golf in general. I think it's bringing more players into the sport, more people trying it. I really do think it is. And obviously, there's other factors that played into the growth of the sport in the past few years, but I think this is really driving a lot of press and a lot more people just to jump in the sport.
And I think also it'll make those majors more interesting when they are all competing again, and they all get together. So they're going to want to represent their home tour, I guess you can call it now.
Yeah.
And, we don't get to see them every week now. So it's just going to be even more, talking points, more things you can, kind of brainstorm before for predictions, and, who's going to handle that pressure better. Maybe sounds like Rory has done well over the last year, obviously, like we said. So I think, overall, it's just going to be good for the game. And I think it'll be good for us to talk about. It'll be fun and just more thought experiments that'll go into it. And
there's so much to talk about it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see some of that action when I'm at the Open next year too. Hey, but anyways, what we got next?
So we got the what happened last week with Sanderson Farms.
Yep.
Mackenzie Hughes won there. So he had I saw some article about him kind of making some swing tweaks, and so he improved his club head speed a few miles per hour, which I think I saw that each mile per hour is like 3 yards of drive distance, and I think he increased 3 or 4 miles per hour on average.
Really?
So I think if you just use his drives, not tee, irons used off the tee, it was an average of 4 miles per hour. So he said that really helped him propel himself to that win there, and he is I believe one of the top putters in the game. So I think that the combination of that definitely was obviously led to some good success last week.
I agree. Did you watch? I didn't watch the actual tournament. I was just watching highlights preparing for the podcast. Did you watch the last few holes?
I did not.
It was good. So on the 18th hole, he had a bad tee shot, pulled it left under the trees. So his second shot, he had a low hanging trees, hit a stinger, rolled up the green, flew past the green.
I think I did see that. I saw that shot wall.
Yeah, he had some relief, and then had a crazy up and down to force the playoff. And then the 2 playoff holes, it was incredible to see. They tied on the first one, and then second playoff hole, they both hit green and reg, and he sank that 8-foot putt. And that short game's important, man. That short game's incredibly important, and that's something that everyone overlooks so much when they're practicing their game. Is they think about the big drives and the iron shots, which believe me, are incredibly important. But if you want to increase and lower that score, those short games are going to be, limit those 3 putts, game changer.
Absolutely.
Game changer.
Yeah. And whenever I read the article about him doing that in the quote unquote off season, I was thinking, well, there's only 2 weeks of off season, or a week and a half, I guess, depending.
That should be another topic we should.
So that's what I was getting at. I'm I went deeper in the article, and it said he'd been working on it for the last couple months. But then it also mentioned the off season. They got me thinking about that. I'm there's not an off season at all, which I think, not to go back into the last topic, but so a lot of the reason why people go into LIV, obviously, the kind of lifestyle, they kind of want to have more downtime, whatever. We don't have to get into that too much, but more money. We don't have to get into that too much. But they don't think it's an important point. Obviously they're playing in these tournaments, they can, choose to play in some or the others, depending on their sponsorships. So they can choose to play in less, I guess, they choose to a certain extent. But I think that's something that probably needs to be looked at a little more. Not only just give them time to work on things like this, I think, but also just, for their, home lives and things like that, just to kind of, have downtime. I know, like, if I was on tour, I would want to do that. At least have like a month at least of like no tournaments whatsoever.
Well, that's where you kind of see a lot of these players not playing some of these tournaments and skipping a lot of them, just so they have some of that time alone. I mean, Waste Management alone, we went there the past few years, and you don't see a lot of those big names anymore playing there because some of these smaller tournaments, they don't take it as serious. They just take that time off because they need that time off. I mean, they need time to be with their family, to work on their game, whatever's going on. I mean, it was great that we actually saw. Remember, we saw Rory. Was it last year at Waste Management? Or prior?
2 years ago, maybe.
2 years ago. And it was great to see that. But like many years
right now with that hat, I don't know.
I know, that's right. It's nice to see some of these players, but man, I mean, we can talk about this too. Like, not only is there a short off season, there's just so many random tournaments, man. I mean, so many of these small tournaments that some people that companies you've never heard of that sponsor some of these. It's kind of funny.
I don't know what Sanderson Farms is.
I have no idea. I have no clue. But it's just, that's why people, like you said, not jump into the last topic, but why people are going over to LIV is because they have less tournaments, more time to focus on their game, and more people are going to be paying attention to them because they won't be seeing as much.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I would want. They, a lot of people, obviously Rory, and like you said, one of the proponents of PGA is a stern backer of it. So maybe that's what they enjoy. I don't know. But that's just me personally. That's what I feel like I would feel if I was on the tour, but I'll definitely never have that feeling. So
nope, man, me either. I will not either.
But so we get this week, what we got for this week? We got LIV and PGA.
It's a big weekend this week. We got the Shriners Children's Open in Las Vegas, and we've got LIV Bangkok this week. So I'm super excited to be able to watch some golf this weekend. I'm going to take some time and actually really sit down and watch both these tournaments, not just the highlights, preparing for next week. So I'm excited. But you want to talk about our predictions?
Yeah. So who you got for the Shriners?
Shriners, I'm going to give you my reasons first before I give you the name. So there's two reasons. I have a little bit of some scientific thought.
It's a bad pick when you're like, let me tell you why.
No, that's not true, man. Get out of here. I think it's an educated pick.
You bring a car home to your wife or something, and she's not gonna like it. So you're like, let me prep her for it, tell her why. It's got so many airbags, it's so safe.
It's like preparing the PowerPoint presentation for it. It's still one why. But two reasons. All right. So I talked about how the tournament's in Las Vegas. It's at TPC Summerlin. So this golfer played collegiate golf at UNLV, so he's very familiar with the course. So that's one of my reasons as why. I'm a big fan of home field advantage, knowing the course. Obviously, they get plenty of time to walk the course and play some rounds before the match. But actually spending years prior, he knows this course. So I'm excited. That's one reason. And number two is, listen to this stat. In his last 6 starts, he's been in the top 10 each time. In 4 of the 6, he's been in the top 5.
Sounds like he's due for a loss. I don't know.
It sounds like he's due for a win right here. And that's why I'm picking Taylor Montgomery this week.
Fair enough. Okay. I like it. I do like the home field. I do like that.
I think it's important.
That's 100%.
And he's like you talked about, he's a rookie this year. So he has a little bit of an advantage this week. I'm excited.
I like that. I definitely like that. I went with somebody who's got some good form right now as well.
Okay.
He just clutched up a little bit in the President's Cup.
Okay. Yeah.
He kind of clutched up.
I know exactly where you're going with this one.
Actually, you don't.
No?
I'm going Cam Davis.
Okay.
So not Tom Kim. He clutched up big.
He clutched up big time.
He's upcoming. He's going to factor into some of the segment we have going in after this.
Yep.
The betting corner.
Yep.
Teaser a little bit there. Not this week, but he's definitely going to be on my picks this year for sure.
Okay.
But Cam Davis, he's definitely been in good form. I watched a lot of the President's Cup. Actually, he played really well, and that's like a really pressure scenario.
Yeah,
all eyes are on you.
I like the format though.
The format is so fun to watch. It makes it so like I like watching golf in general, but like it makes it so much better.
I do.
Definitely 100% better to watch. But they said, I think it was Scotty Scheffler, before last year, he had, I think it was the Ryder Cup, the previous Ryder Cup.
Mm-hmm.
He said he really matured a lot during that Ryder Cup. The pressure kind of like, I wouldn't say the pressure, I'm going to say the experience he got from that gave him a lot of confidence, is what he said, I believe.
Okay.
He got a lot of confidence from playing well in the Ryder Cup and, kind of just walking with, the big names on, at the Ryder Cup.
Yep.
And so I think that's going to be a similar thing for Cam Davis here. He's, got the confidence from playing with all the big names there. They didn't win. The internationals didn't, but, they put up a good fight against a really strong USA squad. They were not favored at all to win. So I think that playing well in that scenario is going to lead to some confidence, and
it's important, man.
Keep that good form and rolling into this weekend.
I agree. I think that the confidence is a huge factor. Some of these players, when they're just down, man, you can just tell, man, and it takes a lot for them to get out of that mental space. So rolling with that confidence, being in that zone, I like that pick.
So
it's a good one.
I got that. Sung Jae Im was the winner last year, I believe, of this tournament.
Correct.
Sung Jae Im.
Yep.
So I think I think he'll probably perform well. I think, but didn't factor into the picks this year.
No, I agree. All right, and the other tournament that we've got this weekend is LIV Bangkok. So this prediction here, I have no scientific thought into this one. This one is just someone who I think he is due. He hasn't had a top 10 finish in almost a year. Okay. I just think this guy, he's ready. Something needs to click, and I think this is going to be the tournament. I don't know why. I'm feeling it in my gut right here. I am going Brooks Koepka.
I was just looking at it when we were picking the betting corner here in a minute. He just hasn't been in form.
Oh, he hasn't. Like I said,
my favorite golfers
in almost a year, no top 10 finishes.
What did he win? What did he win? The PGA, or was it the US Open 2 years in a row? 2019, 2020, I think it was. US Open, I think it was.
I believe so.
I believe it was US Open 2 years, 2019, 2020. He went back to back. And man, this guy's going to reel off a few. And he hasn't done it since then.
Yeah, no, it's something that
but I want to see him get back up there. He won the US Open in 2017 and 2018 and the PGA Championship in 2018, 2019. Wow. That's two separate tournaments.
Two separate.
Back.
That's huge.
I forgot about that.
That's huge.
I was thinking of PGA because that was more recent. I wasn't thinking that long ago for the US Open. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see him get back to that form. I'm not sure what's up with his game or whatever. And I do think, again, kind of an offshoot topic here, but him and Bryson are on the same tour again, LIV, and that's just a great rivalry. We haven't talked about it in a while,
no.
And I'm surprised we haven't, since they're both at LIV. I feel like that would, I guess, no drama between them. Maybe they had a little off-camera truce or something like that. But if I was Bryson,
they kind of. I felt like they kind of made up a little bit. It was at the Ryder Cup recent. Yeah, I remember seeing some photos afterwards of everyone celebrating. They kind of were hugging it out a little bit. So I think they kind of made a little bit of a truce. I think we haven't seen anything popping about that recently.
We need to
I like those rivalries.
We need to tweet about it to get it stirring up again.
Honestly,
it was good for the game again. We need it.
I feel like, hey, Brooksy, I heard someone was talking about you again.
Once Bryson bust out, what was the I think it was like the metal tip shoes he had.
His cleats.
Yeah, cleats that really bugged Brooks. That bugged me too, but you need to stir something up there. But you said your pick, right?
Yep, Brooks Koepka.
Brooks. So my pick, I made this pick before we made the betting corner.
Okay.
So that's what we picked on Cactus Golf that we posted on Instagram, Facebook.
Yep.
I picked Abraham Answer.
Yeah.
Because I think he's, again, kind of due. He hasn't, performed as well lately. But so I picked him officially.
Okay.
Officially for that. I'm never going to do this as we go forward.
Asher, I'm never going to do this again besides the first episode. We'll never do it.
Because we created the segment kind of after I made that pick.
Okay.
So he's my official pick.
Okay.
But for the betting corner, I made a different selection. But officially, that's for my official pick, I'm going Abraham Answer.
Got it.
I think he can get it done. He's really good. He's young. He's going to get it done eventually. Yeah. I think we've seen the top names at LIV kind of perform well lately. Cam Smith won, I think, the last tournament, was it? And then DJ won the one prior to that, I believe. So I think we're going to see those big names kind of rise to the top there in LIV. Obviously, they have definitely some high-end talent, but it's not quite as deep as PGA. So I think we're going to see those names kind of rise to the top more often there.
I agree. I think that's a good one. I like that.
Abe Answer. Let's go. Honest Abe. Come on, baby.
Let's see who wins this week.
So do we want to go into betting corner? This is going to be the featured.
I'm excited
segment, I
about
think.
this. I think we were texting about this and kind of getting the ideas rolling. I'm honestly kind of pumped about this.
This is going to be fun.
I'm excited. So tell everyone what this is. I'm going to explain it very horribly. So let's hear you.
So
say it.
we are going to make several selections using DraftKings, not a sponsor, but that's what we're going to use just because we say so. It's our podcast.
I invested in stock market, so that's the reason why.
So we're gonna
Not
each week we're gonna make several selections with a certain allotment of bankroll each week, and whoever has the most units at the end of the year gets bragging rights. Whatever, we haven't really decided on that. Just be able to I don't know, bragging rights.
I like it.
And something else maybe. So we're gonna make several picks each week for both LIV and PGA. It can be either or. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be all PGA, all LIV, whatever. Top 20s, winners, anything like that, all in between. And so whoever's up the most units at the end of the year wins. And we're gonna have the bankroll each week going to be the same amount.
Yep.
So
A little different,
but same amount each week, just to make it kind of simpler, a little more easy to track, a little more keep us in line so we're not going too crazy each week as well.
Yeah, that's important. Yep.
Gamble responsibly.
That's
So let's go ahead and start. Let's go alternate picks. Don't give me all yours right away. Give me your first one, and then I'll go one and go back and forth here.
I love it. All right, my first one. It's going to sound very repetitive. I'm going 25 units on Taylor Montgomery winning it all to the Shriners Open.
Okay.
That's my first
25 units, Taylor Montgomery. What are the odds on that? What was the odds on that?
Let's see. Plus, I think it was like plus 3,500 from off the top of my head. Let's see.
That sounds right when I was looking at it earlier.
The odds. I'm going to pull up my betting slip here. The odds are
3,500. Yeah, I got it.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure.
3,500 for Taylor Montgomery. You said 25 units.
25 units.
Okay. So first one, I went a little more conservative. My first one, I did get a little heavy one like you did earlier, but my first one, I got Cam Davis. I'm sticking with my guns here on that one. Cam Davis coming into good form, but I'm doing top 10 finish.
Okay.
That's plus 350.
Okay.
Top 10 finish, and I'm going 25% or 25 units on that one as well.
Cool.
25%, top 10. Just gotta get a dub.
I like
get a dub in there, so I think I'm gonna do that one. I guess it's not guaranteed, but obviously, but I think go a little safer, get a dub in there, and get my lead going.
I like it. My second one, I'm making this real simple this first week for myself. I'm going 25 units on Sung Jae Im, finishing top 5. Top 5. We talked about him a little bit earlier. He's the reigning champ from the previous year. I think he's got a top 5 finish here. Okay.
Sung Jae Im.
Let's hear yours.
Yeah, reigning champ of.
I think on our odds on that one, I should have had this one pulled up, but it's plus 180.
Plus 180, top 5. It's kind of low, but I feel like it'd be higher.
I thought it would be a little bit higher too, but
what was Smith? He was 350 for top 10, so I guess it's roughly the same.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, that's my pick.
Interesting.
My pick.
Okay, so I got again Cam Davis, sticking with the same theme. I got him outright winner of the Shriners.
Okay,
I'm only going half a unit on it.
Interesting.
I'm going half a unit. So I can go a little heavier on the next one.
Okay.
Or I guess on the last one, I should say. That's plus 4,000. So still pretty good payout on the half unit, plus 4,000.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a little more than Taylor Montgomery there.
Yep.
For the outright winner. So I got that one. Feel good about the double up there. I think if I win that one, I automatically win the other one, obviously, so it's top 10.
Correct.
So I have a little 2 for action right
a little
there.
2
maybe.
for action. I like that.
So I think that again, I like his form he's coming into. I like the confidence he's got from the riders. I think get the Aussie. Let's go.
Aussie. I like it. My next one got another 25 units. Told you to make this real simple this week, splitting these up. 25 units on Louis Oosthuizen, finishing top 10 plus 120.
Okay.
I
And that's
love
LIV, right?
that's Liv. I love Louis. I'm a big fan of Louis,
I
man.
feel like he's one of those guys that hasn't been in very good form lately.
Lately, no, but I'm telling you, when he is on, he is on. He does not miss. I mean, I don't remember off the top of my head. I have to go look and pull it up. But I remember I think it was obviously not this past year, but the year before, he had so many. He was consistently top 5. I'm gonna say your pick. I'm gonna pull up his stat real quick.
So my next one here, I'm going PGA again. My last one's LIV. Don't worry. I got Tom Hogue. Is it Hogue? Hoagie? Hogue. I'm gonna go Hogue.
Yeah, that makes
I got him to go top 20. Again,
Okay.
a little safer action there. That's plus 220. And I got 25 units on that. 25 units on that one. Tom Hogue. I did a little research myself.
Let's hear it.
So Tom Hogue, when I first saw it, the original odds were plus 6,000. So I should have gotten in earlier. But I was doing my research before we made the picks officially. So
he definitely should have won earlier.
So yeah, definitely should have gone earlier, but it's all right. We still got good value.
That's right.
That was an outright winner. I'm sorry, plus 6,000 outright winner. I should say that.
Okay.
I did top 20. So 33-year-old, statistically, sorry, the best wedge player in the entire field. Okay. And so this what is it? Shriners. What was the course again? I'm sorry, TPC. What was it? Summerlin. It's typically favors the wedge game.
Correct.
So Sung Jae Im, again, one of the top wedge players in the world. He won it last year. I'm going Hogue. Tom Hogue, good odds. He's a little bit of underdog there. I like one of the best wedge players statistically in the last year to get top 20. Safe bet there. You got what you need?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm pulling up our stat here on Louis. The year prior, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 top 10 finishes. That's
2020?
2020, 2021
season. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, he's hot. He finds it. He's due for. And again, I put him as only top 10 for this pick. So I like it. I like it.
Okay. All right. That's 48 players in LIV, so top 10. So okay.
Yeah, I like it. And then my last pick here, I again making it simple: 25 units, Max Homa finishing top 10 plus 150.
Max Homa top 10.
Top 10
plus 150 was it?
Plus 150.
Okay.
That's why, yeah.
25% on all 4.
Easy, simple.
I was just doing some math on my phone here because I made it hard on myself.
Yeah.
The little $1 bet kind of threw my math off, so I got some weird action here.
Yeah.
So I was doing some math for my last pick here. I'm not even sure my math's right because I'm kind of just going by the seat of my pants here. So I got LIV Bangkok.
Okay.
What's the percent? I got 22%.
Okay.
20. Oh, no, sorry. What is the percent? Probably, what is that? 49% roughly. 49 units. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yep.
49 units. Same thing.
Yeah.
On Joaquin Neiman. This is where I said, so I had Abe answer my official pick.
Yeah.
But for the betting corner, changed my mind. The timeline didn't work out. So I'm betting Joaquin Neiman, outright winner, plus 700. Outright winner, 49 units. On
that's big
Joaquin
bet.
Neiman.
That's a big bet.
So like I said, the big names have won on LIV. He's arguably probably second or third biggest name, or at least official Golf ranking right now.
Yeah, I think
he's probably second or third. Cam Smith's gonna be 1.
Cam Smith is 1. I
on
have this
LIV.
right here. He's number 2.
Number 2 in the world, but 1 on LIV.
I'm sorry, he was number 2 in he was number 19 in the world ranking.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, but he was number 19. Cam Smith was number 2.
When did you pull that?
This is a screenshot.
Recently?
Yeah, recently.
Probably because he lost points because he hasn't gotten points, right?
Probably.
So I think since he left, he was number 2 when he went to LIV.
Correct.
So, and I think he's still in decent form because he's won a LIV tournament. So, quote unquote, second player in the world, probably second or third. But he's number 1 on LIV, number 1 in the world on LIV. I think DJ won one prior to that. So the big names, Dustin Johnson, the big names are winning on LIV. Like I said, Abe Answer, big name, but I think Joaquin Neiman.
Cam Smith just won the last tournament.
Yeah,
he is LIV Chicago.
Right. So I think big names are going to win.
Yep.
Joaquin Neiman, 49 units, plus 700. Let's go. 4 for 4. all 4 bets are hidden.
We'll see. I think we got to do bragging rights. I think there's got to be like some sort of like championship belt, like those WWE belts.
Championship belt, maybe.
I don't know.
We'll come up with some.
If you guys think of anything, you guys can think of anything.
Let us know.
Let us know what
punishment, winning,
punishment
for losing, or both. Or you get
sending you
winning.
Sending you to the Waffle House. You're eating a waffle every hour for 24 hours, man. You're going down.
No, we can get a little more original than that. We can. I don't know. Take me to Bourbon and Bones or something for dinner.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
So how about that?
All right, we'll figure it out. If you guys can think of anything, let us know. I like a little bit of a punishment for the loser here.
Okay.
It's gonna be fun.
So I think that. So again, that's a rough idea of what we're going to do for each podcast. Several segments. We got the interview coming up later. Again, obviously we're going to do several of those, probably weekly, if not.
I think weekly for sure.
Weekly for sure, probably. If not every other week, something like that. But yeah, probably weekly. So rough idea of how long the podcast is going to be right there. Probably plus or minus 5-10 minutes each week, I would imagine. Maybe one more segment, maybe not.
Yeah,
just play it by ear.
We're gonna figure it out, man. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna see what works best, and you guys are gonna let us know what you like the most, what you don't like, and we're gonna adjust.
Yeah,
we're gonna figure it out.
That's gonna do it for this one. You got the interview coming up right here after this. Stick around for that, and then we'll catch you next week. Right.
All right. Thank you guys for continuing to listen. And now for our final segment of the show, I get the opportunity to interview founders of Golf Brands, which I am super excited to bring our first guest of the show, the founder of Grunk Dolfer, Nick Bender. What's going on, brother? How are you?
What's up, man? Stoked to be here. Appreciate you letting me on the first episode. That's
first episode,
special.
Man. I was thinking of like, all right, this is what segment I want to have. I'm like, who's someone I want to have on the show first? And your name popped up right away. I mean, from the moment we started Cactus Golf Club and I reached out to you, you were just extremely helpful. Just the phone calls that we would have and bouncing things back and forth of each other. And even you just introducing me to other brands. You were the first person that came to my mind. So I definitely, I wanted the opportunity to pick your brain and to have everyone listen to you and your story about Grunk Dolfer. So I couldn't have picked a better person, man.
Yeah, we're kind of in the same like graduating class, if you will, right? Because
Yeah.
we started right around the same time. So
yeah.
I know when it was hectic to get our stuff off the ground. So, just carrying those people and we've gotten help along the way too. So it's been great, dude. We were just saying, I love the industry. It's awesome.
The industry is amazing. It's not like anything other. There's competitiveness, but like everyone helps each other out, man. Everyone
absolutely
being in it, and it makes it so much better.
I actually, at an event a few weeks ago, I sat down with the owner of Proud 90 for like 3 hours, picked his brain. The nicest guy. I wanted to hate him so bad, direct competitor.
Yeah.
But he was the nicest guy. And again, we not only did we learn from him, he leaned on us for some manufacturing because he liked our hats better than his own. So. Yeah. Everybody helps everybody. It's kind of cool. There's plenty of days in the week to wear other golf polos. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's correct, man. I love that. All right. Well, man, the first question I got for you is, you guys had the vision, you and Brad of starting this brand. What made you think of Grunk Dolfer? What made you think this is what I want to do? I want to get into the apparel industry and the golf space. What started it? What was the catalyst for you?
I wish it was more prophetic than it really is. I do my day job is a commercial insurance broker. So a lot of downtime, a lot of staring at screens, a lot of dreaming about being on a golf course, right?
Yeah.
Like most of us. And so the name first popped into my head, Grunk Dolfer, drunk golfer, Grunk Dolfer, hot. That's funny. Okay. What is that? And then it was like, I don't know what that could be. And then I just started kind of designing a logo in my head. And I was like, what would a logo for Grunk Dolfer look like? And literally not joking, the first rendition is our logo. Like it just came
first
to me.
one.
Yeah, the first try. I mean, there was another one there was two, but this was the first one.
Yeah.
The other one was a guy leaning on his club and crushing a can like this.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
And it just didn't play as well. And vertically, this one made better sense. So anyway, and then it was like, okay, I got a name and I got a brand that I could build. What is it? Mm-hmm. No experience in apparel, but I loved Bad Birdie. This is, the inception of this was only about 18 months ago. So, right at the height of Bad Birdie being on Shark Tank and all that.
Yep.
And I was like, I could do what they do. I could make my own designs. So that was kind of the concept. And then I went to my friend Brad and I said, give me some money. I have an idea. And that's really where it started. Like, we were literally sitting in my pool about that long ago, about 18 months ago. And I said, I want to start a brand. It's going to be called Grunk Dolfer, and we're going to sell golf apparel. And he was like, say no more, say less. I'm in. It's going to, and then shortly after that, I came up with the slogan, golf's a drinking sport.
Yeah.
And then I had some dude on the internet mock up 4 polos. I had no idea how to mock up. I had no idea how to design. I kind of gave him an idea of patterns I wanted. Mm-hmm. And then I just started taking the crash course on what everything meant. And Brad did the same on his end, what the hats the roles that he fills. And it's been a whirlwind.
I can imagine. It's a learning game, man. Starting a business is tough. This Cactus Golf Club is not my first business that I've started. I had other ones that were successful, and I had a ton that were not, and they failed. I mean, miserably. And looking back, I just laugh at them. But so you had to, in the past 18 months, experience some challenges, I'm sure. Talk to me a little bit about some challenges that you've experienced.
Oh, we don't have enough time, but I mean, early on. So here's kind of what happened early on. I was about to start a new position as the president of a hospitality division for an insurance company.
Okay.
And it was going to take me, and it was right at the same time that I came up with the idea of Grunk Dolfer. Mm-hmm. And it was going to be this like totally corporate thing versus what I do now, working from home, kind of my own schedule.
Yep.
And so at the time, it made a lot of sense. Looking back, it was stupid, but at the time, it made sense to hire a marketing company. So, we had a very finite amount of dollars to put into the business initially. And rather than investing that in inventory, which is what we should have done, mm-hmm. We kind of got sold a bag of goods from this company that said, we will handle everything. We will, you guys have to be there day to day, but we will handle, content, we'll handle all these things. And it sounded great.
I was going to say, it sounds pretty great, right?
So very quick, I didn't take that job.
Okay.
Literally the day before I was supposed to start, I was like, this isn't what I want to do. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to focus on Grunk. I was already pretty much pot committed to Grunk at that time, mm-hmm. Just because I loved it so much. I loved the idea and I loved what it could be. And so I didn't do that. And very quickly on, it became clear to me that the marketing company didn't care about anything except sucking every piece of capital they could out of our business. Mm-hmm. And so it was a great learning experience to handle so early on when I didn't have revenue. I didn't have, I didn't have golf shops that we were in. So the looking, relative to how it would be today, the amount of the loss was minimal because we didn't have anything to give them. It sure sucked a lot of our initial capital, but we still didn't, it didn't destroy us. So
correct.
Great learning lesson. And what the main takeaway from it was, no one's going to do your business like you're going to do your business.
Correct.
No one's going to run your business. Nobody's going to have the passion about your business like you. Mm-hmm. And so from then on, it's great because I get hit up by marketing companies all the time. And I'm like, you're snake oil salesman. Leave me alone.
Yeah, absolutely. It's your baby, man. No one does it like how you do it. And I agree. I've never had any experience with any, marketing companies ever. So I can imagine that being a big learning lesson, but obviously you learned, you move the lesson, you move on. And that's fantastic.
The key with those kind of people is you need to pay them to perform specific tasks. Mm-hmm. You can't just give them this overarching, here's a retainer and go grow my company. They won't do it.
Yeah.
And they don't know how.
Correct. So tell me a little bit about the vision for Grunk. Where do you guys see the brand in the next 5, 10 years?
We've grown a lot faster in the first 12. We actually just started selling on our site 12 months ago. So
okay.
We're at our 12-month mark as far as like actively selling.
Mm-hmm.
And so a year in, our goal was to get into like 10 golf shops and be doing like, a certain amount a day online and all that. and we've blown by those goals. Our biggest problem is keeping inventory in stock. That's which is a good problem to have, but
Great problem.
it's a frustrating problem because
For sure.
you want to keep building on the momentum.
Yep.
So right now we're in 20 golf shops, and a lot of our push, mainly because Brad and I's focus and our skill set is sales.
Mhm.
So the online stuff we try, but we're not great at it. And so leaning into our strengths, we feel that we could build up a better foundation through golf shops, through the community of golf. And then the online stuff trickles in from that. And it does. Like we've already seen it being in 20 golf shops. So our vision for 5 years is to be in probably 150 to 200 golf shops at least.
Yeah.
And basically have a semi-nationally known brand. That would be 5 years. 10 years. That's a tough one. I'll tell you this. The Waste Management Open, you know it. It's in your backyard, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The Grunk Dolfer beer garden at the Waste Management Open is going to be a thing one day. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Dude, okay. I love that, man.
So,
that's perfect for the brand too.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And that's what we're really leaning into is what's stuff that's on brand for Grunk Dolfer.
Yep.
I want to be respected in the golf community. I do. That's part of it for me is being respected. And we have seen that respect, but we don't want to abandon our community, and our community, they're not the FootJoy community as we call them. They're a band of brothers. They're the weekend warriors, and that's who we appeal to. And so the Waste Management Open is those two things coming together. And
Absolutely.
So, having the Grunk Dolfer beer garden at the Waste Management Open is what I'm manifesting. And that would be a good 5-year goal. Cause that's probably expensive.
Dude, I love that, man. I love that. And I can't wait for that to happen because you already know I'm going to be right there with you in that.
Oh, yeah.
Super exciting.
I wish it could happen this year because the Super Bowl's there in the same weekend.
It's going to be an insane.
It's going to be insane. Yeah.
Insane. Excited for it. I got some family flying in again for it. So it's going to be a fun time.
That's cool. I remember you wearing our polo at the event, right?
That's right, man. That's right. You already know we rocking your stuff. Of course. We always do.
Yeah.
All right. Last question I got for you. What you guys got something coming up on December 9th? Tell me a little bit about what's going on then.
All right. So the Bad Santa Grunk Dolfer Super Am. So we did an event. Oak Quarry is a really world-renowned, nice golf course in Riverside by where we're at. Mm-hmm. He was the first guy to carry our polos, and they can't keep them in stock. They sell out all the time. So we've built up a really good relationship with him. In August, we did an event, like a Saturday, 13-hole shotgun, 100 people. And it was our first of its kind. We were just trying to break even, like eke out, just to not lose money.
Yeah.
And the idea is you basically get a hat and a polo from Grunk Dolfer because we want you in it. And then endless supply of beer and food and a good time. The first one went great. And so we just want to up the ante. And so we've done that. December 9th, we've gotten Corona Premier as the title sponsor. They're providing all of the alcohol, a bunch of prizes. I'm pretty sure they're giving away a Corona Seltzer bicycle, like a beach cruiser. Like they're going all out for us. And it's all on brand, right? I mean, Corona Premier, it's the golfer's beer, if you know of it. It's 90 calories, so you can drink a ton of them. And it's just a great golf beer. Yeah. And so being able to attach our brand a year in to a company like Corona is crazy. It still kind of doesn't feel like. I've had family members call me like, are you just using, like, you don't actually have Corona as a sponsor, right? You're just lying, right? Like, no, they're really sponsoring.
Pretty soon it's going to be you and Snoop Dogg on the beach doing their commercials.
And Andy Sandberg, dude. Yeah. So, and by the way, it's not to keep it too long-winded, but the funny story about securing Corona, the gal who's the area rep happens to live close to me, and she's really cool. We met her at an event, but I designed a polo with one of our main designs called the Fairway Palm. And I added in the Corona Premier logos and cans and stuff. And I basically pitched it to them like, hey, I'll make you this polo if you sponsor our tournament.
Yeah.
And we'll make this polo the polo that we give away to everybody. And for them, that became a no-brainer too. So it was a cool, like, leveraging my skill set of designing a polo to get a brand like Corona on board with us. And so that worked. It was cool. And we're excited. They're excited. And yeah, so December 9th, it's a 18-hole shotgun. We have the whole course to ourselves. The entry comes with, like I said, hat, polo. We listed as 9 beers. There's a Bloody Mary bar when you check in. You get a breakfast burrito and a Bloody Mary, made your own way. And then we have all kinds of giveaways, gift basket. We have our magnetic koozie that's very popular.
Yep.
And it's gonna be a heck of a day. So
that's exciting. You still have tickets available?
We do have some. Yeah, we're selling out quick. It's only $200. It's $150 to $200 round of golf at Oak Quarry if you just go on any day.
Yeah.
So for $200, you're getting that plus endless food, beer, and hat, polo, and a good time. So
that's amazing. Tell everyone where you can get tickets from.
So you can go to grunkdolfer.com. Under that, there's a tournament section on our website. You could also, the link in our Instagram will get you there. And the signups to make sure you get a polo that's your size is the 15th of October.
Perfect. That's amazing, man. Well, hey, Nick, I appreciate you for being on the show. You talked about where they can find the tickets. Talk a little bit about where your guys' Instagram's at, where they can interact with you guys, find a little bit more about you.
Yeah. So Instagram is easy, at Grunk Dolfer. Again, our website, grunkdolfer.com. You can also go to dopepolos.com. And then we're on Facebook, Instagram. We got a pretty poppin' TikTok, which is Grunk_Dolfer. And yeah, that's where you can find us.
Man, I appreciate you for being on the show. Like I said, I couldn't have picked a better first guest. Wish you guys nothing but the best. And obviously we'll stay connected, and just thank you so much.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate what Cactus Club does. Seriously, we've gotten customers from you guys, and it's a great community you guys are building.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for listening. This is our first episode of the Cactus Golf Podcast. Please make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, leave reviews. That means so much to us to help us grow this podcast. And we'll see you next week.